There is not one perfect way to invest or trade in the stock market, and Weston and I are a perfect example of that. What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions here with another beginner-based video. And if you're learning how to trade in the stock market and you're super excited, make sure you destroy that like button. I want to introduce our good friend, Dirty Weston. Weston. If you guys don't follow him on Instagram, his Instagram handle should be popping up, and it's going to be that first link down below. What I want to talk about today is, if you guys have watched any of my videos, especially the recent ones, I have a very specific way of trading in the stock market. I trade TQs, which is a bull-based ETF that's based off of the NASDAQ. It goes up when the overall NASDAQ market goes up. I also trade the inverse ETF, SQQQ, that goes up when the overall market goes down. So as long as I focus on overall direction, and I do that every single day, I can take advantage of intraday opportunities. And yes, it does come at a greater form of risk, but also the reward is not too shabby, as you guys have seen. Now we have a different way, and there's so many different ways. This is why I always try to remind everyone watching my videos that there is never one perfect way in doing anything. Think about anyone successful in any market, in any profession, or in any career. There's so many different styles of doing what it is that they do, and they can still be successful. You are no exception, and the stock market is no exception. And I want to talk about Weston and his experience trading, why he began investing and what he's currently investing, and how he was able to break over $25,000 in his Robinhood trading account. One of the first things that I also want to remind you is the stock market is not easy. That's something that should just be like thrown out the window. If you are looking for an easy way on how to make money, then get a job. That's the easiest way on how to make money. If you are someone that is eager to learn on creative ways on how to grow your trading account or your investing account, it's not going to be easy, but like we've said so many times before, nothing in life worth having should ever come easy, and trust me, the stock market is no exception. So I want you to first talk about, well, how much money did you first start investing with?
So about 2 months ago, I put in $12,500.
Yep.
And then I put in another, I think 10. Okay. So I had 22.5.
Okay.
But I remember you saying like, I think I had a little bit, I had barely enough to hit 25, but it would have been like, it would have, the percent of what I actually had, it just wouldn't have made sense.
Yeah.
But I wanted to prove to myself that I could go over the 25 mark.
Yeah.
Before I unlocked, I guess you'd say, the unlimited day trades.
But you weren't trading with the full, or you weren't fully invested with the $25,000, were you?
No.
Okay. So what I want to talk about is, and then this is, I think, like just a big mental milestone for a lot of people. I know it was for me, and maybe it might be for you, and I know it was for Weston, because every single time that he got close to $25,000, it would pull back. And I think it's just that like mindset where it's a huge milestone for a lot of people, but if you actually think about it, it means nothing based off of the actual opportunities that you're choosing to take advantage of. When did you begin to see a difference in your investing and trading? What would you say you do more? Do you trade more or do you invest more?
I invest more because of the situation I'm in now.
And that's what I want to talk about. You need to understand that because we're all in different positions in life, right? Meaning that some people are extremely busy, some people have an abundance of time. Weston, what are you doing right now?
Buying and selling cars 24/7.
Okay. So what did you just open during the midst of the pandemic?
Yeah, when everyone's freaking out, we opened our second location.
Yeah, but in the beginning of this year, you guys officially opened Carson and More. Right?
Yeah, our used car dealership.
Yep.
In January, right?
Yep.
That's when it opened.
Like you guys saw, Weston and I began filming videos together. I actually met him through TechBuds. He was just a TechBuds member that would tag me on Instagram from time to time. We flew him out for him to come visit, the team and I, and we just really got along with him and his work ethic and hustle. He was buying and reselling cars as a hobby, and now it's transitioned into a full-blown business, and now they're working on their second location during one of the worst times to potentially ever open up a business. And that's just a true example that it's not that it's easy, but it's that hustle and that sacrifice that he literally has done especially for the past 7 to 8 months. It's unbelievable to see just someone really making it happen. And that's one of the things that I try to remind you guys as much as possible is There is never going to be a perfect way in doing anything, but you need to be a problem solver. And one of the things that he does so amazingly is anytime that he encounters a problem, it's not that he just gives up, right? It's that he figures out a way until he finds a solution. And those are the people that you want to work with, not the people that ask you, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do that? When they can figure it out themselves. Weston and Caleb are individuals that are working on being self-sufficient and solving these problems themselves. And that's why they provide so much value, not only to me, but to, again, every customer that they end up assisting as well. Now that we know your schedule, right, for all those that are full-time students, for those that are, that have full-time jobs, maybe full-time parents, that's a job within itself. You guys are so busy that waking up with me every single morning at market open, let's be honest, it might not be very realistic for you. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to understand your position in life.
Yep.
And that is when Weston began to realize that he would wake up from time to time with me and try to day trade, but he then began to notice that his schedule just doesn't work like that. And that is when you transitioned into...
Yeah, so I knew I was always good at buying and selling, but I knew the stock market was so valuable.
Yeah.
And what you teach is so valuable, but I knew I could apply it in a different technique that would still adapt and work well with what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I invest and I almost swing trade in a sense.
Yeah.
And I hold cash always on the side because if I'm doing long-term investing and it pulls back, I'll always have cash to buy back in.
Yeah.
So whereas you'll buy and sell the same day.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
So, but it's the same thing that you teach everybody, just a different strategy.
It's just a different pace, right? Instead of me trading ETFs, do you want to talk about some of the stocks that you were invested in?
I'm in ETFs actually. So it's a lot of tech stuff, which is tech's a bubble. I understand, but I have a third of it in and 2/3 on the sideline. So when it pulls back, I'm ready to add, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you have money in reserve just in case there is a pullback.
I can buy more.
We talk about all that. We talk about that all the time. Where you always want to make sure that you're aware of your position size. Let's say that you have $1,000 in your Robinhood account. If you see an opportunity and you go in with $300, so that's equivalent to 30%.
Yep.
You leave the other amount of money available just in case you see that it actually begins to go according to plan. Then you can slowly begin to add more once you gain confidence. And for you, it's almost the same idea where you see an opportunity, you buy into it, and you leave about 40% out?
Yeah, 40%. I mean, I'm in 15 to 18 right now.
Okay.
And then I have, it's a total of 43.
Okay.
So whatever that is, the difference.
Yeah.
I'm not good with math.
Yeah.
But it's, 60%.
Okay.
60% out because it's pushed up so long. Nothing goes up forever.
And one of the things that I also want you to talk about is when did you start really investing or start going into these swing trades? It was almost during the very bottom of the pandemic, right? I remember you and Caleb were having conversations where you guys were buying El Dorado resorts, right?
Yeah.
And you guys were buying all these different companies that were just beginning to do better, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about maybe just 3 of those stocks that you were invested in?
During that time, so one will be very confrontational or whatever, but Wells Fargo was one.
Okay.
They cut dividends, but what I was seeing was the 10-year chart, and then the return was 8%.
Yeah.
So, but obviously they didn't maintain that. They cut that out. So I scaled back a little bit, and I saw old Dirty Warren. He pulled out a little bit as of recently. So I pulled out too a little bit. I scaled back because I knew reaction would definitely have an effect. Yeah. So Coca-Cola, the safe stuff. But now it's the tech stuff, but I'm kind of I'm in a sense riding a wave that I don't know when the wave's gonna fall. Yeah. But I don't want to not have anything in and watch a wave that it doesn't crash as low as when I thought about it. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
what are some of those companies that you're in right now?
Tesla, Apple. Are you
still in Tesla?
So it's an active ETF. Okay. So they actively managed. Okay. So they'll scale out whenever it got too high or something was announced, 2000 I think it hit Tesla. It was 10% of the holdings, but now it's 7.6. Okay. So they're locking in profits.
What's the ETF?
So ARKK. Okay. And ARKF. So there's different ones, but for example, one of them's robotics. I think it's either ARKQ or ARKF.
Yeah.
They are more into robotics, and that sounds super futuristic, but like iRobot.
Yeah.
They're working on something for your yard to where it's the exact same concept.
Yeah.
Probably more heavy duty, but to be able to mow grass.
And they make up a margin of this.
Which, I think that's one of their largest holdings, or it was. It changes.
Yeah, I've seen that stock.
And then this one, I don't know if you've heard of. This would be cool to talk about. This is Kevin O'Leary's new stock ETF.
Okay.
So it's OGIG, and that's a lot of sales, so online sales. And as Instagram influencers grow and those processes, Shopify, it's all that stuff. Okay. And I just think that long term, people are getting so big on TikTok, selling products. I think this one will do good. So.
Online e-commerce. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Amazon makes up. Yeah, in the past 3 months, it's been pretty solid. So if I'm not mistaken, Amazon pretty much operates like or runs or owns. What is it, like 80% of all e-commerce done within the United States, something like that. So it's crazy, no question. I mean, the thing that I really like about Weston is I want to first touch on the idea that he is partaking and putting his money in kind of like long-term positions in where he sees value. And where I also want to talk about is one of the things that you said is, yeah, we might have the idea that tech could potentially be a bubble, but I would rather have some skin in the game than nothing at all and be able to ride it up, because even if it does pull back, maybe the pullback will not be as great as everyone anticipates it, and your entry is still being able to walk away for a profit. But the thing that I want to talk about is, I think what you're doing so beautifully is, we've said this so many times, I mean, the market has become so overbought ever since, everyone was saying like, how is the market recovering when we're still in the midst of a pandemic? And although I have talked about, not being afraid to lock in profit, I also understand the importance of a bullish run. And I would rather have some skin in the game and ride the rally than having nothing at all and hoping for a pullback. And I think that you're at least doing it in a way where you have some of your account invested, but not fully invested, just in case there is a pullback, then you can at least accommodate that. I think that everyone should have some form of exit plan where it comes down to like, if we really begin to break below your initial entries, or a certain max dollar loss, max percentage loss, stop loss, trailing stop loss, whatever the case may be, for you to be able to walk away with some money in your pocket, then so be it. As long as you are aware that the market is overbought, that you have some understanding of an exit plan just in case things do begin to pull back. Hopefully you guys were able to see his Robinhood account and what it is that he has invested in. Again, it comes down to the idea that like, although Weston and I are individuals that, work together, and on top of that, we live together, right? He lives upstairs and I live downstairs, but we're roommates. It doesn't mean that we have to approach the market in the same exact way. And this is something that we try to preach time after time, where it should never be a goal to copy what it is that I do, because you won't have an understanding of what you're doing. Just in case you do make a mistake, you pretty much just feel like, you have no understanding of how you took that loss or how you even made that profit. I would much rather you approach the market in a way that accommodates your lifestyle and your position, and whether you make money or you take a small loss, you can at least learn from it to make simple progress, because like we said, small progress every single day can end up leading to big results. So I really do appreciate your guys' time. Let me know in the comment section if you guys think that we should make an update. If the tech bubble does pop, we'll have to follow up with Weston with his, from right now, $43,000 Robinhood account to maybe $10,000.
Oh, God.
But don't worry, we'll be in SQs, so we'll be making money, so we'll donate a little bit to him. But altogether, I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys haven't followed Weston on Instagram, his link is going to be the first link down below. And also, don't forget to stay connected. We do run the largest free Facebook group in the world, and that's going to be that second link down below. I hope that you guys don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy, team.